manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a little bit of a shock. A little bit of a shock. This is huge. I grew up in New Jersey. This guy was like God in all hockey in New Jersey, and he's a proven winner, and he's on his way to Toronto. This brings up a lot of crazy subjects, all of which we're going to get into on the fly right now. First of all, when Lou Lamoriello stepped down as general manager earlier in the year, I thought, he's 72 years old, he's done it all. 5 Stanley Cup appearances, 3 of those wins. How do you take this any other way? He's stepping down. He's easing himself out of the general manager's job to get somebody else in there as he moves on. How could it be any other way? I don't know. How could it be any other way? I can't believe this. My mind is blown. Lou Lamoriello is not going to be in New Jersey, if you can believe that. All right, what does this bring up? I'm trailing off here. What does this bring up? All right, first of all, the Toronto Maple Leafs, don't underestimate this guy. You've gotten a proven winner. 5 Stanley Cups, 3 appearances. A guy who pulls off big deals. And I'll tell you how good he is. In the late 80s, he was with a guy who drafted Brendan Shanahan, who's now his boss in Toronto, strangely enough. The owner over there, he didn't like paying players. I guess he just liked owning a hockey team, but he certainly didn't think the athletes were worth the money. Lou was able to work under these ridiculous financial restraints and still win a championship, and still draft well and bring in Martin Brodeur, and trade for a Scott Stevens and find a Scott Niedermayer. That's how good he is. This is huge. Do not underestimate how big this is. A proven winner. Now, I think the only downside, he's 72 years old. And I thought, like I said, when he was stepping down, from the GM spot in New Jersey, there must have been, he's going to bag it. No, he must have had problems over there. You don't take the Toronto job and not go at it full force. This is probably the most difficult job in the managerial part of hockey. Bringing a championship to a ridiculously tough media city, an extremely hockey-hungry area, and a place where they've made one boneheaded decisions after another. Shout out to Toronto players. No fucks will be given. No shit will be taken. Lou is in charge. And I'm personally, my American heart is beating hard right now because to have a great hockey mind in a position like being the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs shows that, American guys can do it too. Massachusetts born and raised. Lou Lamoriello. Now, like I said, 72 years old. He wasn't finished. He doesn't want to retire. He takes one of the hardest jobs. He'd take one of the hardest jobs in hockey. The hardest jobs. He must have had a problem with management in New Jersey. So if they wanted to keep him, they did something to make him very unhappy. 28 years in the same place. That's a big deal. Just to walk away from that. Now, look, I don't know how much more he could have done for New Jersey, but I mean, New Jersey Devil fans, if they're a little upset right now, I sort of understand. You have new ownership come in there. They get rid of your Rock and Roll Part 2. They start changing everything. They piss off Lou, and Lou goes to Toronto. He wasn't ready to retire. He's got a lot more fight left in him. Whether he has a lot more in the tank and making brilliant moves, that remains to be seen. What a challenge he's accepted. The Toronto Maple Leafs. I wish Lou luck. As a Ranger fan, I wish him luck. And as a Devils fan, I wonder who's running my damn team. How do you let a gold mine like this go? I thought he was slowing down and bagging it. He ain't going anywhere. And I got news for all you sissies, boy, in the locker room in Toronto. If you want to be a Leaf, you're not going to be a Leaf unless you give it 100%. Lou's not looking to take anybody's bullshit. Oh, another thing. Kyle Dubas, assistant general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. What does this mean for him? Are they going for a Lou approach, or are they going for an analytics approach? Or did Brendan Shanahan already give up on the analytics approach? If there was an analytics approach. They brought this guy, Kyle Dubas, in last year. It made big news last summer. Certainly you can't blame the season on him. But something tells me that Lou's not an analytics guy. Is there a potential war brewing there? I was pretty. I knew they would fire their coach up there. I pretty much knew the way their season would go, but I figured Kyle Dubas would be slipped in there after this was all over. I would never have guessed in a million years that Lou Lamoriello is the head of the New Jersey Devils. Or the GM of the New Jersey Devils. And the guy he drafted is his boss. Go figure. Go figure. Like news like that? Check out Shot from the Point live, 3 p.m. Sundays. The hockey news of the week, 1 hour and a half of Jeff the Huffman's news. Comedian Jake Lake, Matt Kazar, and Dead on Dave. Live podcast, hockey highlights right here from the Shot from the Point channel. Like, sub, share. Tune in every Sunday in the summertime, because that's the way we do it.